This is the Polygon 7 by Daring Run. Let's talk about it. Daring Run sent us this board for review, but as always, that doesn't affect our opinions. We'll give you our honest opinion on what we like, what we change, and who do we think this board is for. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Polygon 7 from Daring Run. They released another unique layout, made some changes from the previous boards, and honestly, the price is kind of mind-blowing. Let's jump right in. Daring Run is part of Win Studio, and I've been following them quite closely for some time now. Because to me, they stand out among the designers in the keyboard space. With the race to the bottom, the market is flooded with a lot of boards that the main selling point is that it's cheap or it has incredible value proposition. And Daring Run stands out because I believe their design ethos is, let's design a board with a unique layout that is readily available, the price accessible while keeping the quality up. And I believe they have accomplished that with all of their releases. The 70F is an FRL TKL with a macro column and an interchangeable navigation cluster. Oof, try saying that 5 times faster. The Flip 6P is a 60% with an interchangeable numpad. You can put the numpad on the left side or the right side of the board. Not only that, you can change the numpad layout itself, making it regular or southpaw layout. And Daring Run released their newest design, the Polygon 7, a 65% XT, which means it's got a macro column on both sides of the board. All 3 design gives a ton of customizability in terms of layout and crazy accessible pricing. And another thing to note is that Daring Run actually listened to the community feedback. They removed the ribbon cable in favor of the magnetic pogo connector for the daughter board, and they implemented the ball catch system for the Polygon 7. This is a huge quality of life improvement. No more fiddling with fragile cables and small screws during your build. I love seeing a brand genuinely take user feedback and just run with it. One of my favorite parts of the Polygon 7 is the layout. The macro column on the right side and left side of the board. Not only are they great for programming shortcuts or productivity macros, but they're also fantastic if you are an artisan keycap junkie and just want to show off your collection. You know who you are. The extra real estate is just super handy. So if you're into productivity or macros, these macro columns are super helpful. And if you're more into that artisan life, it's practically a display case for your favorite caps. Currently, the polypropylene plate only comes in white. In the future, I will love to see if they offer a black version of that plate. I believe the black plate will blend in a little bit better for certain color builds, because the white plate just kind of stand out a little bit too much on my dark gray unit. Daring Run is offering 2 different thickness PCBs, a 1.2mm flex cut PCB for a softer, more flexible typing feel, and a 1.6mm non-flex cut PCB for a more solid typing experience. You can pick whichever suits your style, and honestly, if you can't decide, you can always grab an extra to try both down the line. I personally prefer the 1.6mm PCB because it gives the acoustic profile that I personally prefer. Either way, I will recommend picking up an extra PCB because this PCB is not universal, so having a backup is always a good idea. Though, I haven't had the opportunity to test this yet because my unit did not come with a solderable PCB, but I think this board will really shine in a plateless build with a long pole switch. I think it will give a really fun typing experience while sounding pretty full. Okay, let's talk about price, because seriously, how in the world are they hitting the price they're hitting? You can pick up this board for as low as $110 if you do the plateless build, which, by the way, is what I'm planning on doing with my unit after this review is over. That's incredibly competitive for a custom board with a unique layout and this level of manufacturing quality. You can also pick up all 3 plate materials for just $20 if you really want to experiment. That's an absolute steal when compared to most other custom boards. Another big plus is that this is an in-stock drop, not a group buy. So no uncertainties, no long wait times, On January 23rd, you can pick up this board on Daring Run's website. However, I will budget about $35 for shipping if you live in North America. There are no other vendors for this initial sale, but I've been told if the initial sale goes well, there will be additional runs of this board, with potentially more vendors added in the future. What about the build experience? The build is incredibly easy with a ball catch system and the magnetic pogo connector for the daughter board. Daring Run also includes the build guide and the JSON file, which makes the whole building experience and the key remapping process a lot smoother, especially for those that are newer to the custom keyboard scene. All of this is a big dub in my book. Stay tuned for the sound test. We have 3 builds for this review. Let us know which one is your favorite in the comments down below. So this board offers 2 different mounting styles, top mount and gasket mount. The top mount provides a more responsive, slightly firmer typing feel while giving a more airy sound profile. Personally, I will say this is not my favorite top mount sound, and I'll explain why in just a bit. The gasket mount tends to give a softer, more dampened type feel and a more compressed sound. And personally, I prefer the gasket mount for this board in terms of sound and type feel. And I will say the type feel is definitely a bright spot of this board. And as far as sound goes, there are really no hollowness or resonant issues here. All thanks to the built-in force brake bumpers, which really cuts down on the reverb and gives a cleaner sound profile. The spacebar sounds pretty decent because there are no mounting points under the spacebar, which is the key spot that trips up other boards. And I will say the overall sound is pretty decent, but this is not where the board truly shines. And one thing to note is that the color of my unit slightly differs from the render. The render leans more towards purple, whereas in person it shows more navy. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're hoping to match the promotional images. And here's some of my recommendations to Daring Run. I would offer a wired only option and put in some heavier weights in the empty battery compartments. This will give it a more substantial feel and improve the overall sound. I would love to see leaf spring plates introduced because I think it will improve the top mount sound and feel by isolating the vibration from the rest of the case. And with both of those changes, I believe the top mount will have the same quality as the gasket mount in terms of both feel and sound. And lastly, I would encourage using a keyboard case instead of a high quality cardboard box. This will give a more premium feel and is definitely reusable. Overall, the Polygon 7 from Daring Run check almost all the boxes for me. Thoughtful design with a unique layout, while listening to the community feedback with the implementation of the magnetic pogo connector and ball catch system, flexible and solid options for the plates and PCBs, excellent in-stock availability, and incredible price point for what you get. So if you're in the market for a custom board that's got a layout that is both functional and affordable, this is one to watch. And if you have specific build preferences, you can go from top mount to gasket mount or even plateless to really fine-tune your typing experience. That's it for this review. If you find it helpful, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more custom keyboard content. Let me know in the comments down below if you're planning on picking one of these up on January 23rd and what build you're planning. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.